Here we are in game 1 of TwFu versus BMG round of 16 matchup in Diamond Cycle 10. So this is technically going to be a recast for me because I did this once and then it got all messed up and then I had to do it again. So I have, thankfully enough, taken about a week in between when I did it last and doing it now so that I don't actually remember what really happens in this game. So I won't have perfect accuracy when it comes to predicting things, except there's pretty obviously a favorite in this series. And we'll see who wins, but I think both people can be like, there's probably one team that's going to win here. And in no small part, of course, because Diamond Cycle 10 has been over for a while, and this match was played like a month ago. So that doesn't help. So we're pretty well into this whole thing right now. Bans real fast. Ophelia, Cersei, Parasite, and Warbeast, with Ophelia and Cersei from the Hellborn side, Warbeast, Parasite from the Legion side. Ophelia getting banned out all the time now. We just see her taken out pretty much constantly. Cersei, similar situation. We've seen her a couple of times, but just continuously banned out in the initial phases. She's so damn annoying to deal with, taking over that opposing carry and turning it from a, underfarmed support to an overfarmed carry. And then, of course, with all the illusions and the invisibility, she's just a pain in the ass to deal with. So no surprise there that she gets banned out pretty continuously. First picking stage is over. Pestilence, Grinnex, and Wretched Hag. So Pesty mid, Grinnex Suicide, Hag almost certainly in the short lane. They're missing Fuzi here, so I'm going to assume that ALG is going to be playing the carry role, so he'll probably be on the Hag as the short laner, and we'll see how he does. I suspect he'll do pretty well. Hellborn team, Slither, Pharah, Aluna, and now Sandwraith. So Slither possibly run that support role as all the jugglers are banned out here, so it looks like both teams will be running dual support lineups. Of course, Twisted Fusion could pick up another second support and decide to run Slither as a farmer, but with the Sandwraith as a solo short, or as a short laner, I'd be kind of surprised if they did that. I suspect we'll be seeing a support Slither here. Pharaoh's going to be in the suicide role, of course, and Aluna probably going to be paired with somebody in mid lane. So I would hope they'd pick up an initiator here on Twisted Fusion. I don't really like the idea of Slither and somebody else in the mid, and certainly you pretty much can't run Sandwraith as a mid hero. So I strongly suspect we'll see that Slither as support and him babysitting Sandwraith in that short lane. So no stun there, but between that and Desert Skirts, lots of slow. BMG is actually busted through the first few picks, but now taking their time. Engineer going to be their second pick coming onto the second banning stage. That's going to be Sealkid's hero almost certainly, paired up in the middle with Pestilence, obviously very strong lane, Pesty NG, very common. And they might be looking to run a tri-lane, in fact, actually, because usually you don't want to dual lane Wretched Hag and take away that experience, and Grinnex is in a similar situation. He likes to be solo. He's never in very much danger thanks to Ripstock. And, of course, Jonathan Fan there playing a very solid Grinnex, really the guy that brought him onto the scene. But the second round of bans there is part of the reason we don't have any jungle options. Keeper of the Forest, Tempest, and Flux from Twisted Fusion, Gemini, Corrupt Disciple, Moon Queen from the Legion side. So Legion focusing mostly on their short laners, despite the fact that the Hellborn already has a Sandwraith, so it's a little interesting that they're going to see that. On the other side, Twisted Fusion taking out both the junglers and Flux, presumably. It's really interesting that they'd take out Flux, considering BMG almost certainly wouldn't pick that hero. All the junglers are banned out, and both Flux and Pesty like to have dual lanes, so that wouldn't work too well if you pick up the Flux, of course, because then you only have one support left. And you only have one slot left to be the jungler, so you'd actually end up having to run a support Flux. So I don't really understand the bans from either side there. Or from Legion. Yeah, from either side, really, because considering that Legion banned out a role that Hellborn had already filled, and Hellborn banned out Flux that almost certainly wasn't going to get picked up by that Legion team. They didn't even have NG until after the second banning stage, so it's not like that combo was readily obvious. So what's going to happen here? Slither top with Sandwraith, Aluna Thunderbringer mid, and Aluna TV has quite a bit of kill potential there. There's a lot of magic damage, harass that can go out between the power throw and all the TV stuff. So we're going to see TV, I think, for the first time, really since he took all those buffs after the Fortified Arsenal patch, I think that was called. Sealkid dropping a ward real fast here. And it looks like Torture's headed bottom, so I'm not sure exactly how BMG's planning to lane this. I think I would prefer ALG sitting in the middle by himself and a tri-lane bottom. But that might be overkill really on Pharaoh. So actually what we might see is a tri-lane top, except Grenix is already up there. I'm not a fan of anything except for a tri-lane here on the Legion side, or just, I guess, a roaming support Torturer. That could also be a possibility. Mostly because ALG's farm here in the bottom lane is important, but his experience gain is just as important. As a Word of Rev gets dropped here for some reason. I legitimately don't know why Hanskin felt that was important to put down. I guess he's concerned about a possibility of a ward here, preventing him from coming in and ganking, but that's not going to be an issue, of course. Grenix up here hiding behind the secret shop. Sandra's looking for him a little bit, and he'll just run out. Like, oh, yep, this is where I am. So mid lane is indeed going to be that pesty engineer lane. Excellent block there from the Legion. Wow, put them way up on the hill. And should be slight favor here for pesty NG. Aluna Thunderbringer does have a lot of harass, and should be able to get kills relatively easily if somebody gets caught out. Super KG already taking a ton of damage. So is Seal Kid on that engineer. But Thunderbringer's mana half gone as a power throw actually misses there. And Aluna will pot up. Up on top, Grenix against Slither Sand Raid, so he should actually, Jonathan Fan's going to have a hell of a time up here. Because that toxicity debuff on Slither Dash doesn't have toxicity yet when Poison Spray level 1, so that's not a terrible decision, but I probably would have gone the toxicity for the support Slither. Really, you want to box out Grenix as much as possible, and that's a better tool for doing so. And Jonas Fan really being allowed to take creep kills here and stuff. He's going to take the Poison Spray there, on top of the Desert's Curse. He hasn't rift stock yet, there it is. So he's going to run away, be totally fine, but going to drop some more health here. And that's going to be it. Torture on the bottom. Hanskin's actually doing quite a lot here to try to box out Pharaoh. And that Impalement will do plenty of damage. As Hanskin takes a health or a mana pot right there, and will probably go right back and do that again if he gets the opportunity. And middle, Pestilence Engineer. They have reasonable control of this lane. 5-1 on Pestilence compared to 4-0 on Thunderbringer. Aluna has 1-1. Seal Kid's at 0-0. So the haste rune up here going to get picked up, I just think, by Seal Kid. And has the opportunity right now to grab that, come middle, and kill Aluna as TP is missing. But he comes back, has the bottle. Instead, actually, it's going to be Grenix with the haste rune. So this is pretty clearly going to be a gank on the middle. The problem is there's a ward of sight right here. So they know that the haste rune's there. They know that Grenix is there looking to sit on top of it. And instead, Grenix is going to grab it and head top. So good play from Joseph Fan there, as instead of trying to get a gank, actually he will get a gank here, but once again that ward of sight's going to have to spot him as he comes down the hill. Meanwhile on bottom, Pharaoh in a ton of trouble down here. And he's going to try to get in here, but not going to be enough. The Impalement, Sonar Scream, and that's the game. That's the game. That's the kill. Grenix Rift Stock plus the haste rune. Not going to die the tower as Aluna and Thunderbringer are playing well back. So good, cautious play there from them. Going to prevent anybody from dying, but Pharaoh in the bot lane, of course, falling. He is still level 1. Stun onto Super KG is just going to... Oh, power supply. Oh, there's a snipe, and that's actually going to take Super KG out. So nice snipe there from Aluna. Managing to get Super KG in that Pestilence. Of course, he was looking to stutter step, maybe sidestep it, but just not quite able to. And that's what happens. There's a bunch of damage coming out there between TB and Aluna, managing to put... As the Keg Sun's going to hit TB now on top of the turret. There's the Impale, and this is a dead Thunderbringer. And that's the problem, of course, with TB, is especially against NG Pesty. If that Engineer Keg lands, then that's pretty much a dead Thunderbringer. He's got 285 base move speed. He doesn't really have the ability to escape unless he puts the Lightning Bolt on top of himself. But of course, that's a big mana cost, and he doesn't always have it up. I don't think he had it up in that situation. So Super KG falls, but comes right back and grabs a kill. And is up here. Grenix doing just fine, really. 129 GPM against the Sand Wraith, who is sitting at 260. So Sandwraith winning this lane, what a surprise, but this is a 2v1 against the Suicide Grinix, and that's not really shocking at all that Sandwraith would be out-farming him, not out-farming him by that much. Illusion Rune is popped by Engineer. He will send that Illu up the hill and try to grab some vision. So Luna stuns it. So that wasn't good. Not sure what the plan was there, because even if that was the real Engineer, the stun wasn't going to do anything. They probably weren't going to... I guess if that was a real Engineer and he was at that low health, they might be able to kill him. So Grinix is going to come over here, put some harass on the Slither, who is still level 2. Now hits level 3, and going to try to make sure he can do something to farm up this creep wave. Probably not going to be able to do too much, though. Slayer is just sitting in there. Will snipe that Minotaur, so okay, nicely done there. Try to go to Wild Hunter. Not going to be successful. Toxicity debuff doing a bunch there. On top of the Poison Spray. Well, I don't know why he's not just attacking him, because, like, not kidding. If he had just attacked him there, and Grinix still might fall here. Probably not. Not enough on that Poison Spray, I don't think, to take him out. Yeah, just barely lives. So a couple more auto attacks earlier, and he would have died. I don't understand why Slither backed off. Power supply or power throw going to miss. And there's a bunch of damage coming out of the Pesty once again from that TB lightning bolt. Bottom lane, Pharaoh's having to back the hell out because that impalement from Torturer is coming in to do something to him. He's only level 2 still. So he's just having a hell of a time in this bot lane. 97 GPM, 57 experience per minute, just not getting anything. Top rune is going to be contested. TB versus Grinix. We'll see who's able to win. As Shadow Step there onto Grinix. He's going to run away. Slither, actually Sandwraith comes in with the ultimate, but the Kickstun hits both. TB going to fall here thanks to the Impale Stun. Sandwraith in a ton of trouble here. Going to try to have to get up this cliff, and yeah, he will. So he's going to get away. But actually Josephine gets picked off here by Umros on that Luna power throw. Quite well done, and she's in some trouble. Not anymore thanks to the haste rune. So bottom lane, meanwhile, Pharaoh just getting dove. Sonar Scream, Impale, everything. Too much damage, and he will fall there. Nice kill once again for the bot lane, as the Legion side has taken a nice early lead here. 2k gold, 2.7k experience, and not a real shocker there, BMG, with a 4-2 hero kill lead and a resource advantage in this early game. A bunch of damage actually. Tormented Soul there, power throw. Not going to be enough. Nice power supply at the last second by Super KG, so he will survive. Gonna have to go back to base. TB is only level 4, so he's not particularly close to 6 and won't be able to just drop that Lightning Storm and kill Super KG on that Pestilence. Turret comes out, gonna farm up the wave a little bit as Seal Kid. Meanwhile on bot, Hanskin looking to do some more harass to this Pharaoh, who's level 3, just absolutely refusing to go from anywhere that's not directly under his tower because he'll even die there. So if he comes out even a little bit, he's going to eat that chain reaction stun and a bunch of impalement. And so there he sees Torturer coming up a little bit, and it's like, nope, I'm not having any of that. Certainly a good decision there. So Aluna sort of like abandoning this mid lane, and as a result, both Seal Kid and Super KG are going to be able to pick up some farm. Thunderbringer in some trouble. Well, actually Super KG in some trouble as Thunderbringer puts a bunch of harass onto him. So if TB can hit 6 relatively soon, no, he won't be able to snipe energy. A little too much health there. Of course, that bottle up from Super KG as that bot tower goes down. No haunt, but health pock being popped by Torture as she tries to live. TB going bot, grabbing nothing. Refreshment rune, I believe, up top. Pestilence got the rune. Yes, illusions. So Super KG gonna put the bugs down onto Thunderbringer and eat the bottle. Power throw actually gonna miss once again, as TB is now out of mana. Impale stun on the Thunderbringer, followed by the keg. There's a turret, gonna stop everything. Gorproc coming out. Hanskin is in behind. Gonna put the tank reaction onto Aluna as well. So she's not quite gonna fall. Sandwraith ultimate actually coming here. Engineer ult gets dropped. Aluna will fall now. Sandwraith in a ton of trouble as well, as she's gonna take the slow from the energy field. Chain reaction is not gonna hit, but Sonar Stream is playing. As ALG comes in as well for the cleanup. 4 heroes here middle, and they get 3 for nothing exchange. Now up extremely massively in both Golden Experience. You can see that swing way far to the right. This mid tower is also going to fall. It's just going to further increase their gold lead.
The Legion have destroyed a HoN Tower.
7.5k gold, just over 6k experience, and BMG in firm control of this game. Jonas and Fan up top, meanwhile, going to get a pick onto Slither. Just running in there. There's the Rift Stalk. There's the ultimate Shadow Step, and he's dead. Thanks to Poison Spray, but obviously that won't be nearly enough to kill him. Port coming in here. Again, not going to be enough to kill him. Instead, Jonas and Fan just going to pour it out. Meanwhile, in the middle, Super KG falls to the Lightning Storm, so took a little too much damage there. As a result, eats the TV ult and dies. So, Legion side pretty well in control of this game, having taken both mid and bot tower, up 8-3 in hero kills, and very substantially in both Golden Experience. It's, you know, certainly not surprising. This is BMG after all. They're either the #1 or #2 team in HoN, depending on who you talk to. So, round of 16 matchup between Twisted Fusion and them. Twisted Fusion, you know, more of a gold division team, somebody that's been back and forth between gold and diamond. Unexpected that it might go in favor of the boys on BMG. So up top, Pestilence looking to hang out. There's a ward here from the Hellborn side. Anders me on that Slither, putting it down. 3 heroes up there as well, so Pestilence will back off, just feeling as things ain't right. Bot lane getting pushed in by Hag and Torture here for a little bit of support. Meanwhile in the middle, Grinix in some trouble. Dust of Revelation coming down. Shadow Step is there. He has the ultimate out already. With the health pocket need immediately canceled, so he's still in trouble. Sandwraith ultimate going to come out and see if they can pick him up. Riftstock is going to knock him up as the Desert Curse comes out, kills him. Bat Blast on 2 there as they both fall. Sonar Scream finishing a shuffle. Wrath of the Pharaoh will kill Houndskin. And now Kegston actually is going to hit Pharaoh, but he traps Hag in these mummy walls on top of the Hellfire. Is that going to be enough to actually save him and get some kills? No. Sonar Scream will help finish them off. Desert's Curse, they're going to get Sandwraith out with the unit walking. And away goes Hag. As Poison Spray going to come in here and engineer, but he'll just port away saying, you can't stun me, so I don't care. Another 1 engagement there for the Legion. Well, we'll see. Yeah, I guess so. That was a 3 for 2, so that's fine. More or less even. With a tower kill up top, probably in favor of the Legion side. 3 for 2 would normally be, of course, in favor of the team that takes 3, but when your heroes are that much more valuable than your opponents, it sometimes isn't. A 3 for 2 can actually be even if the Golden Experience shakes out that one, and if you're really ahead, then it can. Pestilence going to run here into a bunch, pops the Energizer, that's not going to be quite enough, puts the Impel stun down, going to hit a bunch, but the Hellfire's on him, there goes the Mummy Walls, and now he's in trouble, completely dead. Meanwhile on bot, Thunderbringer falls, 2 Grinix, just too much there, Shadow Step and the ultimate and the Rift Stock, and he goes down. So Grinix pretty much able to kill everything. Maybe not Sandwraith, but, or maybe not Pharaoh, but most of the other heroes on this Hellborn team should more or less die quickly, as actually ALG's picking up kills as well. A Luna getting caught. There's the Impale, Stun, Sonar Scream, and a couple of auto attacks. He's dead. Now going to go on to the Sandwraith. Pharaoh getting tortured, impaled down, so Hanskin's going to pick up that kill. Sandwraith just trying to get away here, and ALG's looking for him. But he is going to hide in the trees and run away. Instead, meanwhile, on the side, they pick off Slither with an NG Field and a Sonar Scream, so that's good. Desert's Courage going to allow him to unit walk through these trees and get away to safety. As the Legion side has, once again, just effectively dominated this game from more or less the beginning. Looking at GPM here, 510 GPM on LG on this Hag, and he's just basically wrecking everybody else. 335 on Pestilence, right up there with 330 or 340 or so on the Sandwraith. So actually Sandwraith with some pretty solid farm, but the rest of his team doing terribly. Thunderbringer just crossing the 200 gold per minute mark as everybody on the Legion side is over 250. So clearly, not only is there a lot of farm here on the Legion side, but it's pretty well spread out. Everybody's doing well. Even the supports having solid farm. and contending with the number 2, number 3 farmers on the Hellborn team. Grinnick's looking for a pick here. There is a Rev Ward down, so if he jumps in there, they will see him. And there's a Ward of Sight there as well, so they see him from that. So the Rift Stock not going to be very effective here as they have True Vision. Lots of defensive wards here for the Hellborn side. One here, there, and a lane ward up here, making sure that if the Legion comes through their jungle, they want to be able to see them. And the only place they can do that right now is if they were to actually... Wrath of Pharaoh coming in onto Grinnick's going to take the Emerald Red Stun, actually, as Hanskin falls somewhat accidentally thanks to the Lightning Storm. Meanwhile, Judge's Fan also get picked off, so nice catch there. And Twisted Fusion will take a couple of hero kills. I believe Hanskin was just randomly low somewhere and died thanks to the Lightning Storm. So a bit unfortunate there for him, but that is an engagement in favor of Twisted Fusion for once. They're going to have to do that about 10 more times if they want to get back into this game, but, well, do it once, and that's one fewer time you have to do it. So, nicely played there, bring in the team, and that's what this team really needs to do at this point. They've got to bring 5 to pretty much any engagement, just because there is so much farm on the Legion side, and they're still highly mobile with all their towers up, so if you engage on them, they can get support in, and of course, BMG is no stranger to that. They do play well together as a team, so they will bring support if you try to pick one of them off. Hag down here farming the bot lane by herself, has that Light Brand and the Ultimate Orb, enough for the Grimoire, so this is going to be a 15-16 minute Grimoire here, up here on top. Sandwraith just hanging out, as Hag buys the Grimoire recipe right there. Jonas and Fan on Grinnick's will farm this top lane by himself, Hag pushing the bot tower. And 3 heroes mid, heading bottom. Sort of looking like they want to group up and push that bot tower. We're actually first going to wait for the 16-minute rune, so certainly a good decision there. So NG cleans up some creep farm in middle. Hag and Torch are going to get spotted out by Tormented Soul here. Then Pamela comes off onto the Poison Spray. And Hag's going to take a bunch of damage. Actually, Bass Splash just erodes Slither. So Hag's going to pour it out there, try to live, and probably will do so. And Pale Sun comes onto 2. Pharaoh going to fall here. Chain Reaction's onto Illuna as well, so she's going to die. And Keg not going to hit Thunderbringer, so he will escape. Let's know another portal key up on Pesty. Actually, nice ultimate there, preventing the P key. And that's going to allow Pestilence to survive. Ultimate coming out from Sandwraith. Not quite going to kill Engineer. Oh, that's a little painful. Port's back here. As is just going to jump on Slither once more. There's the Impale Chain Reactions, and Slither's going to die here. He falls. Hanskin gets traded, but actually there's a Super K is going to pour it out as Joseph Fan takes out Thunderbringer. Desert's Curse onto Joseph Fan, so he can be... They know where he's going, but they can't actually see him. And there's no mana on Sandwraith, so it's not like there's going to be too much there. Power Throw will hit him, but not going to be nearly enough. And Joseph Fan will pick up the bot rune. It is a refreshment. Red Snipe, nothing. As Joseph Van has not even sort of taken that direction. So, another one engagement there for BMG. They're at the point now where they're diving base towers out, actually having killed the secondary, and Luna's in a lot of trouble here as Joseph Van is on her. There's the Rift Stop open, followed by the Shadow Step and the ultimate. Nope. No actual ultimate, as he did not have it available. So just a little early on an initiation. Lane ward here down, of course, probably did spot him coming in. Luna trying to get away, and the stun was successful in just getting her out of that situation. That lane ward going to be countered more or less immediately. It still had 330 seconds on it, or 360 or whatever. So nice counter ward there from Silkid. As TP, Pharaoh, and Slither are down here, I guess looking for a pick on somebody. Wrath of the Pharaoh is up. I'm just not convinced the burst damage is enough to kill Super KG. It might be enough to kill Engineer, but then you'd probably lose at least one as Pestilence would reinitiate. Riftstock on Grinnick's is going to scout out pretty much everybody. There's a Word of Rev, though, so if he comes back, he's in trouble. Jump onto Hanskin here, but the Mummy Walls aren't going to catch him, actually. Luna is in trouble. Slither's going to probably fall here as well, but he gets the Poison Burst off. Kegstone hits too. So they're going to fall. Engineer Ultimate going down, as everybody here on the Hellborn side going to fall. Both Pharaoh and Thunderbringer dying. Sandring up here, free-farming the top lane, so that's good for him, but his whole team's dying. And that's less good for him. Double damage on Hag, and she's going to help push in this bot tower as everybody on the Legion side heals up, and we'll be able to kill the secondary tower relatively quickly. Torture Impalement, of course, level 4, and that just wrecks towers. With fortification, going to slow them down a little bit, but certainly not stop them. Word here from Silicate.
The Legion have destroyed a
Not
Hellborn
choosing to.
tower.
As it looks like Legion might actually back off here a little bit. There's a ward drop there, and it is right next to that ward of Rev, so that will get countered. Super KG hanging out here. Where's the Wrath of the Pharaoh? Not available for 20 seconds. So he'll just be able to leave. Mid tower's getting pushed in a little bit by the creeps. Tormented's still going to help take them out. As Josephine returns top, getting some farm on. And things are, once again, quite substantially in favor of the Legion side. Nearly 20k gold, 17k experience ahead, as the Wardicite is going to spot out Pharaoh here, and Hanskin wants to open. Torment's still going to stop, snipe both Hanskin and Pharaoh, and Super KG. Ultimate from Southern. Wrath of the Pharaoh comes in, trapping both of them. Kegson also going to hit both, though, as actually Super KG is in some trouble, though. Bad Blast going to go and finish off Pharaoh, so he's dead. Hanskin's going to fall here. Super KG might fall to the dot. Not quite, though, as LG actually ports out after taking out Pharaoh with that Bat Blast. So 1-for-1 trade there. Pharaoh for Torture. I would say that's in favor of the Hellborn side because they get the farmer. Actually, a Luna died. Nice pick there from ALG. And Lightning Storm from TB coming out. Not going to kill anybody. Normally, taking a support Torture and killing a Pharaoh would be in favor of the Legion team. In this situation, there's 278 gold per minute on Hanskin and 134 on Pharaoh, so that was actually in favor of Hellborn, as they got the more valuable hero. At this point, really, trading heroes does nothing except for benefit the Hellborn side. And even taking disadvantageous engagements, like, so if they lose, 3 for 2, 4 for 3, that actually favors them too, even if they're on, if they lose more heroes than the opposing team does. Assuming, of course, that does not lead into a base push, which then ends the game. In terms of pure resource control, it does favor them. So up here in middle, Seal Kid helping out. I think that Tormented Soul did spot him. As up top, Sandwraith in some trouble, but has the Desert Curse available, of course, and will be totally fine. Aluna going to try to do something, but instead choosing to back off. Silkid and Super KGE running through here. Interesting word plays from Silkid. I wonder exactly what that hits, but pretty traditional word here from Aluna on this Twisted Fusion side, giving them plenty of vision up on that ridge. Over here in middle, actually, Thunderbird going to get caught out by the Impale Stun. Where is it? He actually used it already, but he's going to fall anyway. That dot on the Lightbrand, man, just able to get over the cliff is Sandwraith. Torture coming in here, chain reactions and Impale onto Aluna. Poison Spray can hit nothing, so Aluna gets killed in a second, thanks to 2 stuns and the Sonar Scream.
The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
And Legion side looking to finish this off, I think, relatively soon. I mean, this has really been over for 10 or 15 minutes now, but understandably, I guess, playing it safe. There's no reason really for them to try to just dive everywhere. Gonna take Kongor here, just to be absolutely certain. Icon of the Goddess on Torture. Okay. Power So, Red Snipe actually gonna spot them doing Kongor, but there's really nothing the Hellborn team can do about this. Tormented Soul in on Super KGE, and a Lightning Storm could get him pretty damn close. He does have Mystic Vestments. And that is, it looks like it's clean enough to back the Legion side off. Instead, they're just going to reinitiate over here, Sonar Scream, and Bat Blast onto Slither. She dies immediately. Shrunken Head there, and actually Luna's going to fall. Lightning Storm doesn't do too much. Feels Pharaoh going to fall over here. There goes Sandwraith, and Thunderbringer is just about dead as well. So they do pick off Silkid on that Engineer, but that's a 5-for-1 exchange. And when I said that taking, losing more heroes could still benefit the Hellborn team, that's not what I meant. It's pretty hard to imagine a 5v5 for 1 that would benefit the team losing 5, but like, if you've got one hitter that's doing everything and he's on like an immortal streak and you get like 1,500 gold out of it, then maybe that would do it, but past that, I can't imagine. Congory going down there, token onto LG on that Wretched Hag, no surprise, she's at 600 GPM. Super KG and Johnson Fan both at 400, Seal Kid and Hanskin at 300. As Sandwraith on this Hellborn side is the only one having any sort of decent farm. 355 GPM, actually not bad considering the circumstances. They're down by 30k golden experience. Like, having 355 GPM when you're this far down isn't that easy to do. Just finding the farm places and managing to not die enough that you can continue to farm is reasonably impressive, so good for him. So, meanwhile, Legion side gonna use that Granite Stretch Dock Shadow Step there onto Aluna. She's dead. This is actually a Hasted Pestilence. As NG gets a bunch of CS there. Good for him. And I can't really imagine what's keeping the Hellborn team in this game. They've been able to CC for 10 minutes now. For some reason they feel like it's not worth it. Not really sure why. But they may not get the chance to because it looks like Legion's pushing up the middle and they should be able to take this tower relatively uncontested. Poison Spear actually misses, no Soldier's pretty much dead. Poison Burst going to hit 4, so well done there. Wrath of the Pharaoh comes in, going to hit Hanskin, but he's got that Gift of the Goddess going on. Kegstun going to hit Pharaoh. Sandwraith ultimate coming in. Shrunken Head's going off all over the place as Pharaoh falls. Bat Blast on the Sandwraith there. He's going to die. As Aluna gets picked off to the side. Token getting used actually on ALG as Johnson Fan also falls. But other than that, not a big deal. Everything on Hellborn dies, and still got 4 heroes up here for the Legion side. Yes, use the glyph. That's what it's going to be. The difference between victory and defeat here is that glyph of fortification right there. Now you're going to win. Slither is back up, having gotten bursted down relatively early, but she eats the hop there, and she might, yep, there's Sonar Scream. Because ALG is just like, I don't even care anymore. Chain reactions out of Aluna is going to mean the Emerald of Lightning not going to do too much now. Another kill there. As ALG's pretty much auto-attacking and Sonar Scream and like something's dead. Like, that's what it takes at this point. Impale Stun onto Thunderbringer. He's going to fall. Tormented Soul, not going to do anything. ALG has an Immortal. Alright, like, you've given up the Immortal. You're going to lose your mid-racks in a second. You're seriously at the point now where you can't do anything. Energizer is going to go off onto Sandwraith, and they're going to try to kill this Torturer. Chain Reaction is going to miss, but Sandwraith dying super fast as the Immortal once again goes out for ALG. There's GG, well played, and a CC vote, so
Defeat.
it took them apparently way too long to realize that they were donezo in this game, but they did eventually figure it out. Unsurprisingly, a very dominating performance by the Legion side. They basically drafted well, because why not rub that in their faces? They won their lanes, and then they went up, took a bunch of ganks, won those, took team fights, won those, won everything, as they finished with a giant lead in both golden experience. So good on to them. That's game 1, and let's move on to game 2.